So I wanted to make a better video of the Epson Artisan 837 because the video I had before wasn't as good and I got some complaints about it. So I'm going to be more specific. The 837, the reason I bought it is a couple of reasons. The first is that it prints really quickly and really well, and as I'm going to show you later, it has specific colors instead of tricolor cartridge. So if you run out of, I do a lot of printing, CD printing, and so if I have like 100 CDs that have a lot of blue background, I don't want to have to buy a whole new cartridge when blue runs out. I'd like to just have the blue, be able to just buy a blue cartridge and go on with my printing. So let's go on. Okay, first of all, this door here is magnetically sealed to it, so it comes out when if you have it closed and you're about to print, the magnet will disengage and then the door will slowly come out, which is beautiful. Now I used to have the previous Artisan for my CD printing, and the bad thing about that one was that once you lifted this top here, you couldn't push it straight down. You had to press a button to release it. So it's a great improvement with this 837 that to push it back down, you just have to push it down, and it has a little bit of pressure so that there's some resistance, so it stays stiff. It stays. I can open this and close this several times over, and the hydraulics or whatever they use to push this down or to keep it from slamming down works phenomenally. So now I mentioned the touch screen, and the touch screen is incredible because what it does here, I hope you can see it clearly here, but basically the way the touch screen works is whatever you have selected, that's the only thing that's going to come up here. So for example, if I say print photos, this panel over here changes to what you need for print for the photo area. So you can go back home, you can go back to where you came from. If I say, well, I want to print all the photos or view and print photos, of course there's no memory card on here, and we'll talk about the memory card later. So you can do that. Let's go back home. Let's go to our options here. We're going to go to copy, and then you have this beautiful display for the copy. You could do color or black and white. One of the beautiful things about this machine is that you can do two-sided printing. This is a nice feature here. Let me zoom in so you can see. Here is your settings for your printer. So you're about to make a copy here, for example, and then I want to do, like, I go to the menu here and I can do a copy, you know, my copy settings. Great settings here. We have two-sided printing, so in other words, I can put it in the feeder up here and put 2 pages and have only 1 page come out front and back. So it's incredible. You can do actual size. You can do legal, of course. Most scanners and printers do legal to letters reduction automatically, but you have this auto fit page, so it's no fuss. You can do this auto fit. If you have a book that's too small, or even a book that takes up the entire scanner area but you want it to be letter size, you can just put auto fit page. It'll pass through once to scan, to kind of do a pre-scan, and then it will copy your page to the letter size specifications. You can even reduce it automatically from letter to 4x6. So or you can do your custom size, you know. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna reset because I don't want any of those settings. And let's go back one more time. Well, let's go to menu, and we can copy and we can restore photos. We got the CD DVD copy, which is really great. You can put a CD or DVD on the page here, and make a copy of it, and it does beautifully. You have your ink levels, and like I said, you have cyan, which is the blue, you have yellow, you have light cyan, you have black, you have magenta, and light magenta, or pink. So it's really nice to have all those ink levels. You could tell that my yellow is running out, so all I'd have to do is change the yellow. And of course you can find it really cheap online. I go to all my local office store, and I can get them for like $10. So it's really nice to not have to worry about buying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $60 worth of ink every time yellow runs out, for example. Okay, we're going to go through a couple of features that I like. As you can see here, we could put a micro card, or we could put an SD card or an XD card. You can even print directly from your USB drive or compact flash. Now, compact flash is a little outdated, but I mean, if you do have a camera, especially a high-end camera that takes compact flash, then you can put it directly in here and it'll print from there. So I'm going to take my USB drive here, and I'm going to plug it into the USB part, and immediately, as you can see, it reads whatever, it just knows what you're going to do. So it reads what's on your thumb drive, or that you have. It recognizes that you have a thumb drive in there. Okay, so when I plug in the USB drive, as you can see, I get a couple of menus here. I can check the photos that are on the drive. I can scan into the drive, or I can make a coloring book from the pictures I have. So for example, or there's some more things. I can print ruled papers, I can go back up the data. There's a couple of things I could do. So for example, let's say I want to scan something into the memory card, okay? So I could either save it as a JPEG or a PDF. I'm going to do PDF for now. Either the area is just legal or auto cropping, or the maxed area. Let's do auto cropping, because I'm going to just copy this old Epson card here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it on and see how the auto cropping works. Okay, so we got PDF, auto cropping, and we're gonna say OK, and it automatically makes a file called Epson, and then makes a new file, or makes a folder called Epson, and makes a new file with the image. See, saved to Epson. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to make it a PDF, a JPEG. Okay, auto cropping, and then we're going to compare the two. So very quick. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, and that JPEG that I scanned, I'm going to use it to print to a printable CD that I have here. And I'm going to show you how a couple of ways to print on a CD. One of the easiest ways to print onto a CD is if you already have the JPEG and you want to put it on your CD itself. Now, notice that this CD is center printable, hub printable CD. So there's different types. There's the ones that are hub printable, and then there are the ones that are not hub printable, that this little brighter part here, I don't know if you could tell on the screen if it's bright, but this little bright part right here won't be printed on. So some CDs come with this part clear or plastic, and in this particular CD you can print all the way up to the hub. Okay, so I'm putting in the USB drive, and you're gonna see how the screen changes. It read the one photo that we had scanned from earlier. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna print the photo. Now it's gonna ask us how we want to print the photo. Do we want to print the photo, view and print the photos, print all photos, print the photos in the card? You notice I have 3 windows here. Do I want to do a photo layout sheet? Do I want to print it onto CD, print proofs, slideshow, copy, restore photos? So obviously I want to print to the CD. So when I click that selection, do I want to do one CD? Do I have several pictures and put like a little collage, or more than that? Well, I just need one. So, and it's going to tell me that the selected photos, whatever I select, that's what I'm going to use on the CD. So on the next screen, select the photo. Over here to select, you'll notice, let me push this over a little bit, that my screens have changed. Let me back up so you can see. Notice as I'm selecting, there's nothing here. So as soon as I select CD, it's going to tell me, you know, select the photos I want. I'm going to press OK, and then OK again, and you see now we have a plus there and a minus. So if you probably can't see it on the screen, but this says 0. So I want to do 1. So I'm going to do 1 of this on the CD, and it's going to actually, that's not too bad. You know, have it centered like that with the 98 on the side. Okay, now this is a little throwaway CD. It's messed up, so I'm going to use this one for this tutorial here. And we're going to say OK, and now it's asking me what the dimensions are. So the dimensions for central printable are different from hub printable. I highly suggest you go to the website for the disk you're using. For example, I'm using Redata or Redata, and it told me what my hub printable dimensions were. For my outside, it's going to be 118, and for my inside, it's 22. And it's very important you look at that, because otherwise you're going to have like white strips on your CD. Okay, so you're going to say OK, and then you're going to print on a CD. It's going to eject, which I love. I'm going to just lift this here. It's ejecting the CD tray, and there we go. Okay, so we're going to put on our disc, and up here it'll tell you to press the CD tray close button. Okay, so now if you forget and you close this all the way, the CD will still fit, which is wonderful. I gotta press start, sorry. Now, suffice it to say that you can also print using the Epson CD printer from your computer, and that's Mac or PC compatible. But that's self-explanatory. You can go ahead and do that yourself. I wanted to show you how to do it without using your computer at all. So, like you see, I have this completely closed, and the CDs can still come out. Now, taking the CD out does require you to open it, because you can't fit your fingers in there. But as you'll see, the CD prints completely fine if you tend to forget little things like opening the front panel here. And that took about a minute. And we're going to open this here. Oh, it's going to ask you, do you want to make another copy? Of course, we're going to say no. And here we are. Beautifully done, completely covered here. No white strip around here. And it looks beautiful. So we're going to close the CD tray. To close the CD tray, you just click the CD tray button here. And there we have it. We're going to go home. And you could open the CD tray at any time to pop in a CD if you know you're going to be printing something soon. Well, thank you very much.